Established by the World Intellectual Property Organization, the World Intellectual Property Day seeks to raise awareness about patents, copyright and trademarks. It helps us to celebrate talent and creativity, which makes us able to recognize the contributions the creators and inventors make to our world. In this age dominated by young people with peculiar interests in arts, craft, music, dance, movies, and any other form of content creation, it has become important to have intellectual property regulations to prevent the theft of original work and promoting the content creators' right to have full ownership of their creative work. Every year, countries around the world lose billions of dollars to piracy and intellectual property theft, including Nigeria. On Panorama today, we'll discuss intellectual property and the creative economy. Thank you for joining us. I'm Ruth. Welcome. We'll begin with food security. The federal government is making significant progress in its efforts to revolutionize the country's agricultural sector and enhance rural employment. Minister of Agriculture and Food Security Abubakar stated this during a meeting with the board chairman of Research Institute and Colleges of Agriculture. Musa Baba Aliyu reports.
Food security is the top priority of the 8-point agenda of President Tinubu's administration. The Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security is responsible for ensuring that this goal is achieved. And this meeting between the two ministers and the board chairman of research institutes and colleges of agriculture aims to clarify their roles in the food security agenda. Abubakar Kyari stated that the administration is making significant progress in addressing food insecurity in the country. However, he urged the board chairman to collaborate with their respective agencies and colleges to develop climate-smart seeds to enhance food security.
We're surely on our path to success. We are not where we want, but we are on that trajectory. We have seen what we have achieved within less than 2 years has never been achieved before. And I believe you are all aware, being people from the communities around the Federation, you have seen what has happened to food prices, and what we want to do is stabilization with welfare of the consumer, at the same time balance the welfare of the farmer as well.
As we jointly work to attain and deliver our dear President's renewed hope agenda for food security and other impacts that the agricultural sector can make, especially economic growth, job creation, poverty eradication, and inclusivity.
Alphonsus Oga Eba, who led the other chairman, praised President Bola Tinubu for the opportunity to serve.
We are not just coming as politicians, like I have said. We are coming as farmers with experience. We are coming as people that are interested in ensuring the success of Mr. President's promises to Nigeria to deliver on food security, to make us food sovereign.
Recent statistics indicate that food inflation has drastically decreased nationwide, while national food growth is progressing steadily. Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
And still talking agric, more than 3,000 farmers involved in crop cultivation and livestock farming across the 3 senatorial districts in Cross River State are beneficiaries of grants from the Auda NEPAD. Innovative strengthening of the smallholder farmers initiative is what they're projecting. Paul Abel will tell us more.
The African Union Development Agency and New Partnership for Africa Development, Auda NEPAD, selected Cross River State as one of the 7 participating states to flag off the implementation of this initiative with a one-day training on the theme, enhancing agricultural productivity among smallholder farmers in Cross River State. Filled to capacity in this hall, cutting across youth, women and men as smallholder farmers, hoping to benefit from the grant to improve productivity, resilience, and sustainability.
Mr. President is trying to see how we can bring succor to the smallholders farmers in Nigeria, and with the help of a other continental body in South Africa, we were able to get a grant of over $350,000 for the 7 pilot states.
The state government haven't paid its counterpart funds to the tune of 3.5 billion naira. Is ready to play its role in critical human capacity development.
This initiative selects smallholders farmers cut across the 196 wards, cut across the 18 local government area to develop their capacity, provide them information that will give them access to finance. And all of this is brought to you from the dynamic drive of His Excellency Senator Prince Bassey Ededetu to ensure that the people's first mandate is achieved.
Speaking on the theme, guest speakers highlight importance of crop rotation, organic farming, soil conservation practices, establishment and growth of small agri-businesses. Some participants also share on gains of the capacity training and the grant.
Really good engagement that the government has given to us as young farmers that are coming up.
I think with the grant, I should provide jobs for even those who are not graduates.
The project continues in the central and northern senatorial districts of the state. In Calabar, Paul Abel, NTA News.
In other news, the federal government of Nigeria sympathizes with the government and people of the Islamic Republic of Iran following the tragic explosion at Shahid Raji port in southern Iran near the Strait of Hormuz on Saturday, April 26, 2025. A statement by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs conveys Nigeria's condolences to the families of the 28 people who lost their lives and the more than 800 others injured in the incident. It also commends the swift response of Iranian emergency services and expresses Nigeria's solidarity with Iran during this difficult time. The explosion, which struck one of Iran's key ports, has drawn international sympathy and calls for sustained support for the affected communities. The Nigerian Copyright Act aims to protect rights of creatives, ensure access to creative works, and facilitate compliance with international copyright treaties. Adejoke Odeka takes a look at some of the challenges associated with copyright infringement and ways to curtail them.
To promote art and culture, copyright law assigns a set of exclusive rights to content creators to make and sell copies of their works, to create derivative work, and to perform or display their work publicly. It takes a lot of creativity, time and resources to put together a work of art, book or song, and when this is done, the owners are expected to be rewarded in many ways for their works. Unfortunately, the issue of copyright infringement and piracy have been a thorn for some time now, where the ownership rights is completely stolen. With copyright infringement gaining popularity, what are some of the challenges Nigerian creatives face?
One, plagiarism. The people that will use the work of an author without due acknowledgement. The second problem has to do with infringement in the digital space.
There's also the issue of lack of collaboration, lack of effective collaboration between the stakeholders in the industry.
Experts believe that there should be increased public education in Nigeria with comprehensive legal protection for copyright owners.
We have to do everything possible to try and increase awareness of the effects of piracy, of the rights that the authors stand to enjoy through their copyright works. Then another thing we must do is capacity building.
Copyright is vital as it protects a creator's original work, gives them control over how it is used, and also prevents unauthorized copying or distribution. In Lagos, Adejoke Odeka, NTA News.
Copyright is a very serious issue, especially where intellectual property is concerned. We'll have a conversation just after the break. Stay tuned. Thank you for staying with us. The global arts and crafts market has been valued by experts in the creative economy at more than $100 billion with more opportunities for growth and as more people engage in content creation. Well, the creative sector comprises film, dance, drama, movies, artworks, you name it, which showcases a person's ingenuity. Now, such innovations are protected by laws from being used by other persons without permission or even royalties. We have in the studio now to speak on this intellectual property right and the creative economy, Umar Mohammed. She's an artist, a very fantastic one. I'm proud of her because she's a colleague, an in-house presenter here with the NTA. Thank you, Umar, for joining us on Panorama.
You're welcome. Nice to have me here joining you.
Okay, Umar, we're seeing a lot of pirated, artworks from films. Even your paintings you do can be pirated. But ideally, when we're talking intellectual property, what are we saying? What is a creative telling himself or herself that it is my intellectual property?
Well, you have to accept that you are the original creator of the work. Because if you don't have that in mind, you cannot even know what to do when it comes to protecting your work intellectually. You are the only one who has the right to distribute the works. You're the only one who has the right to reproduce those works and also display them. But the problem we have in Nigeria is most of the artists don't even know the copyright law. And that is one aspect that the Nigerian artist really has to look into, because we just produce works and we have no knowledge of what copyright is all about.
So would you say is the lack of this awareness of, these artists, some of them not having that knowledge of the intellectual property right, is that why it's not really been harnessed, the creative sector?
Not really. The creative sector is really trying, the artists are really trying, but the problem that we have when it comes to harnessing the creative sector is we need to start from the grassroots. A lot of people have talents, but the government, let me put it that way, they neglect these talents and then they prefer to invest in foreign creatives. All the efforts that you see with the Nigerian artists, it's a personal effort. It's not a governmental effort. We try our best, we do our things. Like the Society of Nigerian Artists, we are a body, but we don't even have an office, we don't even have a meeting space. Anytime we're supposed to have any meeting, we go to gardens, we go to restaurants. The same thing with the Female Artists Association of Nigeria. It's a big body, but we don't even have an office. We don't have a meeting place. So how can you harness such an economy when when we're not formally organized? We try our best to do things on our own, but we are not being recognized. So in order to harness this economy, you have to organize the creative sector. It's not just something that you leave it to the creatives. It's something that the government really needs to put a lot of effort into it.
Okay, Umar, I'm sure you're aware that this present administration has demonstrated that commitment by creating a ministry for, art, culture, and creative economy. How about this association creating a synergy with the ministry? Has there been any move?
Yes, there has been, but it's not really forthcoming, let me put it that way, because it's like, I wouldn't say they don't believe in us. They do believe in us, but the support, like I said, it's not really there. We do a lot of events, we have a lot of exhibitions and shows, but when you come to our exhibitions, you hardly see government officials thrown into that place. You only see people like us who cannot afford the artworks there, and it's very discouraging. You put in your best as an artist, you create an artwork, and then people just troop in there and just say, your works are nice, but nobody purchases them. But when you go outside, you see the foreigners really supporting theirs. They blow the trumpets of their artists more than any other artist. And even if you go to places like there was an auction that they had sometime, like in 2003, where Dora, Akinyele's daughter, Njineka, she sold her painting at an auction for $100 billion. And if she hadn't gone there, it wouldn't have been possible for her in Nigeria. And the painting was just, she painted a bush baby. In Nigeria, what they will tell her is, okay, what is in a bush baby? Why would we buy a bush baby painting for like 10,000 naira? So the encouragement is not there. You know, we have a lot of creatives, but when you think of all this, you know, you just begin to relax and just let it go.
Okay, but what about the private sector? You know, they also have a key role to play. What's your take on that?
The private sector cannot do much because it's something that we need to be recognized by the government. If the private sector tries their best, if the government does not really make an input into what we do, it's like we're still on our own. So the government needs to recognize this body. They need to recognize us as artists. They need to believe in us. There are so many avenues for artists here in Nigeria, but we're not given that avenue. Like, patronize us. If you do not patronize us, you will not know how, or you will not know the value of what you have in Nigeria. Like, for example, the Nok terracotta that we have in Nigeria, do you hear anything about it? No, but we have a museum when you go to Nok in Kaduna State. The museum is in the shadow of its own. Nobody goes there. It's supposed to be one of the biggest tourist sites that we should have in sub-Saharan Africa. But nobody even knows about it because it's in ruins. Nobody takes care of the place. The museum has really nothing in it. Take a look at the National Council for Arts and Culture, the structure in Area 10. It's an exclusive structure, but it's now in the shadow of its own. Everywhere is dilapidated. We have all this, but the government has not really come to look into the sector and to ask the artists, what really do you want from the government?
Okay, and also the artists too should, you know, play their own role by ensuring that they are aware of their intellectual property. It is their right, so it can be protected. We'll continue to give the support here in NTA. Thank you so much, Umar Mohammed.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me here.
You're welcome. All the best. We turn to other issues in line with the renewed hope agenda of empowering women. Wife of the President and Nigeria's First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, has empowered 500 women in Bayelsa State with household items to make them self-reliant and contribute their quota to the state and the country's economy. Diana Kume Ulolo reports.
The Renewed Hope initiative of the federal government has continued the empowerment of women in the south-south region of the country. This time, the Bayelsa State has taken its turn with empowerment packages including deep freezers, standing gas cookers, ovens, grinding machines, and generating sets being distributed to the women.
I feel very, very happy. This is a very big miracle. May the God bless our mama.
I want to thank God for everything, and I want to thank the First Lady of Nigeria for making it possible for us to have this wonderful empowerment.
I encourage you to use these resources judiciously to grow your business. Let these items serve as a foundation for creating a better life for yourselves and your families.
Being resolute in our commitment to women's economic empowerment as a key driver of sustainable development. This initiative directly aligns with SDG 1, that is no poverty, SDG 5, gender equality, SDG 8, decent work and economic growth.
In Yenegwa, Yanukume Ulolo, NTA News.
80 women and youths in Obauke in Olorunda local government area of Osun State have benefited from poultry empowerment program under the National Agricultural Land Development Authority, NALDA. Muyiwa Omoumi reports that the empowerment was facilitated by the Special Advisor on Protocol to the President.
The beneficiaries received 160 battery cages, 320 bags of poultry feed, and 3-week-old chicks, a complex starter pack to launch a poultry business in Oboke, Olonda local government area of Osun State. Executive Secretary and CEO of NALDA, Olusegun Adebayo, represented, says their mission is to responsibly develop agricultural land, fostering productivity, sustainability, and prosperity.
After nurturing these birds for an additional 3 to 4 weeks, dedicated off-takers will purchase the mature poultry birds. The profits generated will be shared equitably among all stakeholders.
This empowerment is a program for eradication of poverty, and is a program that if we are able to sustain it, all of us will be glad.
Poultry farming is very, very capital intensive, but with this kind of gesture, it will definitely ease us.
The empowerment is one of many programs being rolled out across rural communities in Nigeria. From Obauke in Osun State, Muiwa Omaumi, NTA News.
And next will be sports update.
Amak Area Council emerged champions of the inaugural FCT FA Women's Inter-Area Council Football Tournament after a hard-fought 1-0 win over Gwagwalada Area Council on Sunday. Ruth first half strike proved decisive, handing Tao's team a historic victory at the FIFA Goal Project pitch, Packet B, Moshood Abiola National Stadium in Abuja. In the third place playoff earlier in the day, Kwali edged past Kuje 4-3 on penalties after a goalless draw to claim the bronze medal.
They were able to perform beyond my expectation. These things give me joy. I am happy to see this. This does not even look like a first edition, and I am surprised.
I want to assure you that we will do everything possible to support her to make sure that this tournament is sustained. It has to be an annual event, and by the grace of God, at the NFL, we will do our best.
Meanwhile, Remo Stars made history on Sunday by defeating Niger Tornadoes 1-0 to clinch the Nigeria Premier Football League title. They have now become the 21st club to lift the trophy since the league's inception at the national level in 1972. From finishing second last season, Remo Stars have taken a major leap, clinching their first ever Nigerian Premier Football League MPFL title since their promotion to the top division at the end of the 2015-2016 season. With 3 matches left to conclude the season, Remo Stars now sit on 68 points, a full 10 points ahead of Rivers United's 58. Meanwhile, Nigeria will field 2 MPFL clubs in the 2025-2026 CAF Champions League and 1 team in that season's CAF Confederation Cup, making the fight for second and third place fiercely competitive. Abia Warriors, Ikorodu City, Enyimba, Bendel Insurance, Kano Pillars, Rangers and Bayelsa United are all in contention for the second CAF Champions League ticket, while Plateau United, Shooting Stars and Kwara United remain in the race for the Confederation Cup slot. Elsewhere in Europe, Liverpool delivered a stunning performance to sum the 2024-2025 Premier League title. Under new manager Arne Slot, the Reds dismantled Tottenham Hotspur 5-1 on Sunday to secure the trophy with 4 games to spare. This triumph sees Liverpool join Manchester United at the summit of English football, both now boasting 20 top-flight league titles each. With Sport Update, Amazongo, NTA News.
And we're done with Panorama. Thank you for your time. Do have a beautiful day ahead. I'm Ruth Aguela.